Today I'm gonna do Preachers of L.A. Episode 2. Um, First off, before I do this video, I want to thank everybody that watched the last video. I got really good numbers on my last video, so thanks for everybody that watched that video. But let's get into this show. In the second episode, it starts off with Dietrich and Dominique at the studio, and they listening to music, I guess from the choir, I guess from the little concert or whatever, and it was sounding cool. They were talking about her voice, he can hear her voice and all this kind of shit, and I'm sitting there like, how you hear her voice over like 50 goddamn choir members? Shut up. So, but I guess he just want to pump her up that she doing good in the choir. She asked what happened at the man cave, and he was like, oh, what the mess that was at the man cave, and so he tells her, his version of the confrontation with him and Bishop McClendon. And he was just saying how he never really met the man and stuff like that, but he felt some kind of way when a dude called him son. Now, he was saying how he never met him, but now he don't respect him. And I'm sitting there like, as a man of God, how can you be on TV saying you don't respect nobody? Like, come on now, like, you, and then you say, oh, you can move past it, but then you say you don't respect this man. Like, I don't get it. Now, I understand that you guys are human, you guys be in your flesh, but the things that you guys say, I don't think these preachers be thinking before they say something. Just saying. She was saying, well, how can you guys reconcile? How can y'all get past this so when y'all see each other, there don't be no problems? Y'all can still be able to be cordial or whatever. And that's when he was like, he doesn't hold grudges. He could sweep this under the rug. But you know what I'm saying? He just know where Bishop McClendon is coming from. Whatever. So then they show Bishop Noel Jones and at his house. Bishop McClendon came over. They were talking about playing pool or shooting pool or whatever. Then Bishop Noel Jones wants to know what happened at the man cave because, as we know, he wasn't there. So then Bishop McClendon want to give his version of things of what happened. And he was like, well, like he said it too. He never really met Dietrich, and that things just kind of went left when, let me tell you, when this man was talking, I was like, he ain't talking about shit. He's not really explaining himself. He going all around the little thing. You know how people just be talking all around it of the root of the problem, but ain't even really talking about the root of the problem? That's what he was giving me, and it was like, what are you talking about? Then he was mentioning something about Dietrich didn't, he questions his assignment or whatever. So that's when Bishop Noel Jones was like, okay, well, I can see why this went the way it went or whatever, because he questioned your assignment or whatever. But I think it looked like Bishop was kind of leaning towards Dietrich's side with this, because even he feel like whatever you get from the church, that you pay your people from that. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be telling people that you get paid in order for you to come to their church. Everybody got to get paid, because that's where Bishop McClendon was coming from. So then Bishop Noel Jones was like, well, how can we get past this? How can we, work on this? Because he was just like, okay, I could tell the streets is still in some of us, which is true. He said they got more street in them than Bishop McClendon or whatever. That's what you want to call it. But how can they work this out? Bishop McClendon was just like acting like he didn't want to work it out with Dietrich, and Bishop Noel Jones was like, well, maybe Dietrich do. So I guess they're gonna try to figure out a way for them to talk or whatever. I'm not here for Bishop McClendon. I'm just not. I'm not here for him, because the way he gives off is just like, it's not about saving souls. It's about how much money you can make. He just reminds me of those preachers that be in movies that really don't give a damn about your soul, as long as he can make money off of it, as long as he can get book deals, as long as he can get this and that. That's what he gives me. Even when it comes to Bishop Noel Jones, that's what they give me. You might do be saving souls, and that's because these people that's at church are willing to get their souls saved. Now, you might help the process along, but trust me, baby, you did not fucking save their soul. God did. But when it comes to them, I just see money. I don't see them trying to say they souls. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But even with Bishop Noel Jones Church, a lot of people that I see go there don't go for their souls to be saved. They go to see the fashion show, because a lot of these churches nowadays are fashion shows. But a lot of people that I know go there don't go for their soul to be saved. They don't go for the word. A lot of people go for the singing. A lot of people go for who got on what dude's going to be at church, what girl's going to be at church, what the musician's going to be doing at church. I'm not saying it's just at his church, but it happens at his church. But that's what happens at a lot of these churches. And so for me to see that you worried about money instead of saving people's souls, that shit ain't cool. Anyway, they show Pastor J, and this is about saving souls. Pastor J and his wife, First Lady Christy, I love them. I love their interaction with each other. I love the way they talk about the Bible. I love how they talk about church, how they talk about saving people. I love this couple right here. So they have this girl. I don't want to be disrespectful either. So they have this girl named April. They used to be a member of their church. She's a skater. She just turned pro. Now she is going by David. I guess she's going to have a sex change and stuff like that. So she's going by David. When I seen David, I thought it was David. I'm just saying. So they're talking about her and how can she wants to come back to she want to come to the church, but they want to know how can they approach it. So the assistant pastor, Cody, comes in. They all talking about the situation, about, I'm going to call this girl David because that's what she is. He's, like I said, I don't want to be disrespectful either. But they talking about her. Cody is saying that he don't know how he would react because he would still look at her as April. Now, I understand all of their views because they have been knowing her as April for a very long time. And so to just say, okay, let's blink our eyes and call you David, that's a process. So they all trying to figure out how can they do it, how can they welcome her in the church without her feeling uncomfortable and want her to be accepted and stuff like that. So that was they talk. Christy is just like, we just still want to show her love. We don't want her to feel awkward. I love First Lady Christy. I love how church people don't, they know what's in the Bible, but don't want to make people run away from the church because of what's said in the Bible. They just want to get you to the church and let you try to figure that out for yourself. If you stay the way who you are, because to me, there's no changing people that wants the sex change, and that's who they are. So I understand they conflict. Pastor Noel Jones, let me tell you right here, I'm not feeling him. I'm not feeling him, and only reason why I say I'm not feeling him is because I can't get behind a preacher that doesn't want a relationship but preaches on family. I can't get behind a man that's cool with being with a woman for 15 years and don't want to put a label, and then you stringing this woman along so she can't be with nobody else. To me, that's what this is. You know she love you. You know she want to be with you. And you just want to call her your friend. That shit bothers the hell out of me for a preacher to get up on Sundays, Monday, Tuesday, whatever, and don't want to commit. Don't want that relationship. But why are you in this friendship with this woman? Why are you in this so-called friendship with this woman and stringing her along if that's what you not? You might as well go beat your meat by yourself and let her do her, because to me that is stopping her life and what she wants to progress in life. This lady look like she wants a relationship. She wants to be married. And so to me it looked like he's holding her back. So to me, even if, oh well, some people could say, well, she knows what she signed herself up to, but to me, being a man of God, you should be like, look, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to never be in a committed relationship. Let me let you go do your life and I do mine, because I can't get up with a preacher that just preaches for family and ain't doing the family thing. I can't do it. So anyway, that was really the basic. He went to church, preached. He was in the car with his driver. They were talking about her. The driver is praising her, but he don't want a relationship. He's talking about all the different places he got to go preach. Africa and this place and this place. And I'm like, do you by you. That's it. Bishop Noel Jones then talks with Lady Loretta, and she wants him to do something special when he gets back. And I'm sitting there like, girl, okay, whatever, boo. Because like I said, I'm over them. Pastor Jay and Christy, they at home. They talking and they talking about how can they deal with David and stuff like that. And like I said, Christy just wants her to be accepted as David or whatever, and they gonna try to get her to come to church. Christy just wants it to be a safe atmosphere for David. So I was like, that's cool. I like those kind of Christians where she was just like, I don't want to be those kind of Christians where you kind of judging people, because that's what basically Christians do. If you ain't living their life, they judging you. Pastor Ron and his wife, they're discussing business at the church, and then they say how they going to meet Dietrich and Dominique so they can get to know them or whatever, and they want to support them. That was cool. Then you get to Dominique's house. Dietrich goes over there to pick her up for the dinner or whatever. He's talking to her mom. He's trying to be in a good graces with her mama. Her mama is just like, look, damn it. You talking about y'all gonna get married, but I want you to, before you say I do, I want you to do. And he was like, what do you mean by that? And she was just basically like, this is your second marriage. This is her first. You need to be patient with her. You need to be able, you know what I'm saying? You need to be able to understand where she's coming from. You need to be able to treat her like she needs to be treated. You can't be bringing your baggage into this damn marriage. That's basically what I was getting from this mama. I like her mama. Her mama's real cool, down to earth, tell it like it is kind of chick. So I was cool with that. After they finished talking, Dominique come out. She looking cute. They head to dinner. So then they show Pastor Jay. He meets up with David. They're talking about why David go to church, why she stopped coming to their church, and David just felt like I didn't have time to be answering all these questions. I just want to be accepted. And so Pastor Jay is just like, it's hard for him. He understands what the Bible is saying, but he also understands about saving souls and just want her to feel comfortable, and she just needs to be in church and basically stuff like that. So I felt that was really cool with Pastor Jay. I felt when David was saying how she just want to be accepted and she don't want to have to explain to nobody her little past or whatever. That's why she goes to the other church, because she don't have to explain herself. And Pastor Jay was like, I don't tell people that I used to be a crackhead, like I don't always have to disclose that or stuff like that. So that was cool. So I liked their interaction because he was really being a pastor. He was really being cool with David. He wasn't being judgmental, stuff like that. I really liked their conversation. He just invited David to church and was just like, I want you to come to church or stuff like that. So that was cool. Bishop Noel Jones had dinner with his family or whatever. They was talking about his preaching, and his brother was like, you in love with moving the crowd. He was like, no, I'm in love with God. And I was like, no, you're in love with moving the crowd. We saw that when you was exercising, massaging, all this, getting ready to go preach right before the service. I've never seen my pastor going in the damn back and then go exercise before they come out to have to jump all around the damn. Don't jump all around. You ain't got to do all that hooping and hollering to get souls saved. I'm just saying, y'all just be doing all that damn hollering just to be hollering. What else happened? That was I really don't be too much caring when it comes to Bishop Noel Jones or whatever. Pastor Ron and his wife met with Dietrich and Dominique. They were talking about drinking, and because Pastor Ron was like, I don't drink, but do you guys want something to drink or whatever? And he was like, well, something about turning water into wine. First Lady Vet was like, we don't do that at communion. We have grape juice. And I was like, yes, they do. They have grape juice at their church. They don't have wine, sorry. And most of the churches that I have been to, they usually have grape juice. Because I'd be feeling like that too. Like, why would you serve wine when it's supposed to be an alcohol beverage and then you tell people not to drink? I don't know. I never get that. But apparently, Dietrich is that new Christian. To me, he's that new Christian where we all know how we were raised. People that went to church. We all know how we was raised. We know drinking ain't cool and that's supposed to be something that affects your body, so you know that shit ain't cool. But Dietrich is one of them people that's going to question every damn thing the church say if it's not written in the Bible. And I get that. I really, really get that, because when I was really, really faithful in church, it was so many questions that I had, and the church people, if it wasn't what they were teaching, they didn't want to really answer it. And then when they tell you to read the Bible for yourself, and then you read it and you be like, hey, I don't find this, then they get upset. I've been there, Dietrich. But with this conversation, Dietrich was really, really defensive for most part of this conversation. They was talking about what were they talking about? Oh, he was asking them how do they keep it together after 31 years or whatever. And Pastor Ron made a comment, and he was like, Dietrich was like, well, I follow God and all this kind of stuff, but when I follow God, that's how my life got turned upside down or some shit like that. So Pastor Ron was like, wait a minute, marriage is not 50-50, it's 100-100. So I think he started feeling defensive, thinking he was referencing Dietrich's first marriage, really, which he wasn't. He was just like, the things that Dietrich did, Dominique didn't go through that, and she's gonna go through that being married to him. So you gotta make sure your foundation is straight. You guys went through your stuff, because he was talking about how he was married and all this kind of stuff, and then his world came tumbling upside down. So apparently he's trying to say that the woman cheated or whatever. So Dominique is gonna have to go through that. Until you get your shit together, this marriage is shaky, because you gonna always look at your first marriage and then compare Dominique to me in your second marriage. I'm just saying, because whatever she do, you're gonna look back and say, well, is she gonna do me like that? Or if any kind of little attitude Dominique gets, you might say it's like your ex or whatever. So I can get what Pastor Ron was saying. Maybe he wasn't saying it right, but I can get what he was saying. Dietrich just very, very, very defensive. He was very defensive. He just started like going off, and then Pastor Ron was just like, are y'all shacking up? Oh, he really got defensive on that. He was just like, I'm sick of y'all preachers and preaching stuff that's not, trying to go off about stuff that's not in the Bible. That's why we don't go to ministers for counseling and stuff. And I'm like, you're a pastor, so what would you do? Tell your church people don't come to you because you gonna give them all this biblical stuff, which you supposed to do? That's what I was like. Don't you supposed to give them counseling through biblical? I understand you supposed to, and I think he was just trying to say, I want them to come to me like I'm a human being. Don't come to me with just all this biblical stuff. Tell me some life lessons, whatever. So I understood that, but it was just like he was being defensive. So Bishop Brown was just like, sinners shack, real men married. It just seemed like he was getting more and more aggravated as Pastor Ron was talking. So Levette and Dominique they really had to reel them in to, stop arguing or whatever. Dominique was just like, he used to be a monster before when we first got together, and now he ain't calmed down. I see beyond that. So then Pastor Ron was like, me and my wife go to counseling. So then that turned Dietrich attitude upside down. I was like, well, that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. So I kind of got that part. So then Pastor Ron was like, I want to be your mentor. So Dietrich said, yeah, because he likes their relationship, which I do too. So Dietrich just have a lot of, to me, demons to work on before he gets married. Then they show Bishop Noel Jones. No, I like when Pastor Ron told him, your setback is not making you sit back. And that hit me like, oh wow, that's something powerful. So I like that was that. They show Bishop Noel Jones talking to Loretta. They playing chess. They talking about their relationship. Girl, run, because he don't want you. He don't. He just wants some company. He don't want you. Then they show Dominique and Dietrich at the end. He's dropping her off at home. He don't want her to get out the car. He want her to go get the baby so they go back to his house. She's like, no, we only got like a month to go. I think that shacking up hit him hard, but you got a month to go. This is what you get. This, especially when you trying to live the life as a pastor. You got to be that example. Sorry. Go. I don't know what you got to do. Go in the bathroom by yourself, but she can't go home with you. So anyway, this was my review for the Preachers of L.A. episode 2. Make sure you rate, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Keek. I do everything by the Ghetto View, THA, not THE. Follow me, I'll follow you back. Make sure you check out my girl Ashley Miller 1987. Also check out Mike B 801. I'm quite sure he's gonna do Preachers of L.A. episode 2. His Preachers of L.A. episode 1 was really amazing. So make sure you check him out too. Alright then. Peace out.